All right, some people in the room, and I just got in the room. Come on, I'm gonna bring y'all some news you will not see in your regular news. Okay, are y'all ready for this? Everybody, hold on to your hat, hold on to your pants and your shoes. They might all fly off. I'm being honest. You have not heard this. Okay, this is from the CBC in Canada. Understand that in the same way that we have NPR, okay, in the United States, we have NPR, National Public Radio. Oh, it just dropped to 3. Yeah, they lie. It probably went up to 5,000. Okay. Click like if you're in the room. Stand up and be counted, right? Hit the like button if you're in here because they're messing with my numbers and they can't, and then they'll have to get back. So check this out, people. All right. Just like we have NPR, National Public Radio, and just like we have GPB for Georgia Public Broadcasting, APB for Alabama Public Broadcasting, North Carolina, every state has public broadcasting. And oftentimes, even though it's supposed to be censored, okay, for propaganda purposes and things like that, that they want to get certain news out, it's smart actually to watch other states, other countries for their news to see what's really going on in a situation. Because they may have accidentally told the truth, or they may be like, well, we'll tell our people, but nobody else has to know, so don't make this national news. This should be international news. 3 hours ago, if I can find this, everybody can find this. So pay attention, people. This is the CBC out of Canada. CBC out of Canada. I can't touch that link, but you'll be able to when I drop it. After this live's over, I will explain it to you. That's the lady, the Chinese lady right there. She got an award on that day, okay? Yeah, they need to give her an award. In China, they give awards. They when you do something that is against public, and if you kill someone, they shoot you. First, you dig a hole, then they shoot you in the back of the head, and you fall in the hole, and then they bill your family for the bullet. Did you know that? Well, because they're like, we're not even paying for the bullet. Your family made you, and they'll pay for the bullet. Well, how about this one? I think she needs a different award. That's all I'm going to say on that one. I'll tell you why. Her and her husband. Okay. So these people are a spy team. Okay. And they are out of China. Yeah, that award was presented in Manitoba, Canada. Yeah, they need to go ahead and give her some more awards. Matter of fact, when they're done, Canada, okay? And we got respect for you. I'm here in the United States here, and I don't speak for anyone else in the United States. I speak for me, so all of this is my opinion. I'm going to say that first. But we have respect for Canada. You're our northern neighbors. I got friends from Canada. I got people that are running out of there from other countries. I'm going to tell you, your Canadian national anthem starts out, "Oh, Canada." Well, I tell you what, okay, why is there no live stream at all from Wuhan? Okay, China has intranet, not internet. Do you understand that? They are not a free country. So back to "Oh, Canada." I'm gonna say this. I like your song, "Oh, Canada." So I'm gonna speak right now to Canada. Oh, Canada, when you're done with this couple, I think the U.S. might have some questions for them also. That's what I'm going to say about that. So, we like your national anthem, and that's how I'm going to address that. Oh, Canada, send them to us when you're done. Because for real, these people may have caused the death of 11 million people in Wuhan. It's a total of they're saying 35 million people. I'm counting more towards 50. And this is a pathogen. It is a biohazard to everyone. This is not something you will probably even grow immunity to. I think this is lab created from a petri dish from her and her husband, either sending it to Wuhan, China, and then putting it together there, which really threw me off, and a lot of other people who are actually scientists, that how is it that it went from a warm-blooded mammal to a snake, a reptile, a cold-blooded mammal, to have that DNA marker, and then back into a warm-blooded mammal? No. This was not a perfect storm of you had a sick bat and a sick snake and then a sick person that ate it raw and didn't cook it. No. I think patient zero was a petri dish. Do you understand what I'm saying, people? This was lab created, number one. Number two, it's my belief, my personal opinion, that this couple who were in a level 4 infectious disease facility in Canada. Level 4 means biohazard and contagions and diseases that they were similar to the CDC in Atlanta, okay, in Atlanta, Georgia, in the United States. The CDC is out of there. They have copies of viruses. They do tests with them. They're supposed to be finding cures. They were caught sending it to Wuhan, China, of all places. How about that? They actually caught them sending pathogens to Wuhan, China. Not only that, when they were being investigated, they lied about their recent trips to Wuhan, China. Okay, so the reason the people in China who are not supposed to have internet are listening, it's the people's the Republican the People's Liberation Army, I guess, of China. PLA, I believe it is. If I'm not mistaken, that's the name of their army. They're watching to see if they got caught with this yet. That's why they're watching, even though they are not supposed to have internet. They all have intranet. You see, China is not a free country. Let me tell you something. You can meet someone from China in the mall and they could be holding a cell phone and you say, here's a link to my YouTube channel. They try to look it up. It doesn't even show up. It's completely out of their band, even if they're over here. Those people have special phones, special permission to be here. And they cannot find you. I tried this once. I went to the mall, said, hey, here's my YouTube channel. He tried. It does not show up in their browser, just like how one Google can censor what they want and make you see what they want. But you could go to Dogpile, which is a whole bunch of them, and find everything. Or you could go to Yahoo and find something different that's a different result if you type in the same thing. Well, China, their search results are 0 for the United States. You can go to someone who's at the mall who doesn't speak a word of English, show them your YouTube channel. They can type it in on their phone. It will not show up, period. No matter what browser they use, any of that. I've done it. They are censored. So once you understand that when they're in China, they have intranet, not internet. And when they're over here, they're only allowed to look at that if there are certain people that are, really just given work visas to come over here, and some of them spy. Well, this couple got caught. They got busted. They were actually escorted out of the level 4 facility. Now, who escorts you out? Probably some guys in some really nice Italian suits, because all the best stuff comes from there, right? And probably some sunglasses. They were probably armed, and they probably had a nice, Cadillac Escalade or something like that. And don't know how Canada does it, but Canada, when you're done with them, I think we might have some questions for those people, because it may come to our shores too. Now, listen, you need to start thinking of this disease similar to being like anthrax. Anthrax is a disease. Yes. It is found in rats that are in higher altitudes. Yes, naturally occurring. You can live from it, but the Navajos say burn your clothes if a rat runs across your legs because of the anthrax, because it can kill. It will kill young. They say young Navajo will die when it rains, and it hadn't rained in a long time. And then there's a rainy season. Then the rats eat a lot more acorns or whatever they eat. They multiply because they know there's going to be food for their babies. Then there's rats everywhere, and in higher altitudes, they carry anthrax. So there's an old Navajo saying that says, after this type of weather happens, young Navajo will die. They didn't know why. Now we come to find out, because there's more rats, there's anthrax, and the kids are low to the ground. They're playing in the ground, and the anthrax is there, and the rats might even bite them. But even if they run across your leg and you touch it, you could get the anthrax, and if you're a kid, you'll die. There was actually a young couple who was, both of them were, I think one was an Olympic athlete. Anyhow, they both died it's my understanding they both did. I know for sure the woman did, of anthrax naturally occurring. Now, when they take that anthrax and put it into a petri dish and do what they do to it, they turn it into a weapon of mass destruction. Okay, so this disease is a weapon of mass destruction now. It is bioengineered. This is my opinion, but from what they're saying, number one, they did get busted and taken out of the facility. Number two, they do admit that they did get caught taking pathogens, sending them to Wuhan, China, of all places. Number three, they lied about the recent travels to where? Wuhan, China. And number four is, well, let's go down here. Hang on a second here. And this is the tweet, by the way. I'm going to let you read the rest of it because not everybody's on Twitter. And I'm trying to, I may have to actually move this so that you can get this view. So hold tight. This is from this guy, Kyle Bass, but it's actually from the Canadian Broadcasting Company, okay, in Canada, cbc.ca. You can look up this story. A husband and wife Chinese spy team were recently removed from a level 4 infectious disease facility in Canada for sending pathogens to the Wuhan facility. The husband specialized in coronavirus research. So it was definitely the coronavirus. And I was trying to say it first. Listen, I believed what they said because the DNA markers don't lie. Yes, there's snake DNA in that. There was a school of thought that even though these 3 researchers did this 4 or 5 times and they kept coming up with the same answer, that this is definitely the DNA from a snake. Well, the other people said, even though they wasn't involved in the research, there's no way it's a snake DNA because cold-blooded mammals that are animals are not diseases don't move to cold-blooded and then back to warm-blooded or even too cold. It would die in the snake. So what they did was that group of scientists went looking further. I think what they did was I think they found that in the same way that you can test anthrax, like they tested the anthrax that was found in envelopes that went to the United States senators that were sent as some kind of a bad thing that they were trying to, send anthrax. And they found that it was created in a lab. That was not naturally occurring anthrax. But not only that, it's from a certain strain of bioengineered anthrax that was from a certain facility. They traced it all back. I think what happened was, I think they said, hey, this don't look right. I think they looked at the DNA marker and everything, but they said, yes, it is DNA from a snake, but that shouldn't be bonded in this way, or it's just in there, it's just junk. Something's not right. Maybe they used the DNA in the lab from the snake to make it so that this stuff will be able to hide in your body for, now they say 2 weeks before it even shows signs. However, they are actually contagious during the entire period, they say now. So from day 1 to 2 weeks, they're running all over the place, spreading the disease, but they don't show symptoms. Typhoid Mary, I brought this up before, but this is a bioengineered Typhoid Mary disease. This is now a weapon of mass destruction. Now, Canada did not do this to China. China did this to themselves. So before you start thinking that people need to start swapping bullets and all this stuff, here's what actually happened. China sent these people probably however many years back as spies from the PLA, and they went in there, they sent stuff back, or they recruited them later. And so Canada is not to blame for this. Canada caught them sending that stuff back. And so China either did one of 2 things. When we did nuclear testing underground, we didn't blow up Russia. We didn't blow up China. We didn't blow up anywhere else. We blew up our own country. It has been a long known, unspoken thing that when countries test viruses, evidently they do that now. When countries test, well, do we want to talk about the Tuskegee experiment, right? Let's let that lie, but so I guess it has been done. However, when countries test nuclear explosions, nuclear bombs, they test it on their own soil. When they shoot off rockets, they make it to land in their own soil or in their own waters so that it's not seen as an aggression, okay? Because they're testing. So there's 2 thoughts on this. They could have been testing this on their own people, and they could have taken out Wuhan and now everybody else that's going to die from it, maybe even global. Or they were bioengineering this disease and it got loose. Or the third rail would be, this is my thought, all of these are my thoughts, that maybe a Chinese researcher who was in there said, this is so bad, I can't believe we would do this to anyone else. I'm going to let it out here, and this is the only way I know out, and it's going to take out this whole city. So maybe it was let out on purpose. Maybe if they go back looking at the genetic markers of SARS, they will find that it could have been bioengineered. At this point, I would call that suspect. That's the logical next step of thinking. However, this is true. They did send pathogens there, and this is not, I don't believe this is a man-made virus. I'm starting to believe, since it has the snake DNA in it, that it was bioengineered. And I believe that's why the other scientists didn't want to believe the findings, even though those were true scientists, and they just took the DNA sequencing that China gave them, that they put out to the world. Hey, can you find a cure for this? And good luck. And so I think that it was bioengineered. I think that's why everybody else is scratching their head going, how could snake DNA be in there? How could this be in there? I think someone, just like when you take anthrax and make it into a weapons grade, what's it called? Like I said, I just used it, a weapon of mass destruction. I think they took coronavirus and added some things to it and then made it a weapon of mass destruction. And I don't think you're going to change my mind once I've seen this on Canadian broadcasting. So you're not going to see this in the news. You may not see it in U.S. news unless they actually pick up on this. I did put it on Twitter, and it is true, and this is not a lie, and I'm having coffee. So anybody wants to say anything, you go ahead. I'm going to give you a minute to make some comments. You guys can blow up the comments, and I'm going to find the video real quick. So let's see. The two doctors are from Taijin working in Winnipeg, Canada. Yeah, they also made secret trips to, guess what? Wuhan. Guess what? They sent them pathogens, and the husband specialized in what? Coronavirus research. You know how odd the coronavirus is? Let me tell you something, people. It's called a coronavirus because if you look at it under a microscope, it looks like the corona of the sun. And when I say corona, what they mean is the outside, similar to if you're watching it from a total or almost total solar eclipse where the sun rays still come around the moon. Those are the spikes that adhere to the host. Well, I'm going to tell you something. You'll be lucky if you live through this. I'm saying that now. I don't care. They could say pre-existing condition all they want. They could say it's just killing people over 60 and then under 5 like a regular disease. But I think this is not the perfect storm that happened. I think it's bioengineered, and I think it's the perfect virus. Someone, some evil genius, these people probably sent back because the husband was a lead researcher in that, a professional in that. I think that the husband probably sent just the coronavirus back to China. And I think that he probably sent also the other stuff to add to it. And then when they got to China, they put them together. Kind of like how you bond, how you make fiberglass resin. You have to add the hardener as an activator. I think that he added the other virus or sent him the other virus. So if he got caught, it wouldn't be a weapon of mass destruction. It would just be, hey, I work with this stuff all the time. It's coronavirus. And they already have it. We just send it. And then the other one would be, oh, I don't know what that is. It's junk DNA. And then they put the two together when it's in China. And then it multiplies in a dish. I think it went haywire on them. Or one of the researchers said, we can't possibly put this on another country. We need to take ourselves out. It's a very samurai thing to do. So once you start understanding the samurais and that kind of thing, they fell on their own swords. So it's a very Chinese way of thought. Now, another thing, China mentioned this. They said that the strong hand, this is the public statement the government set out and sent to the people of Wuhan specifically, because they knew there was going to be a quarantine. So beforehand, they said they didn't want us to pick up on it. It's a very secretive way. It's like saying one hand washes the other. It doesn't mean go wash your hands. It means one person will take care of another person. Okay, so here's what they said, and you can pick this out. They said, the strong hand will hold back the weak wrist. In other words, if you see somebody trying to escape, even though you're all going to die, it is your job, because we're telling you to, and we're the Chinese government, to grab that weak wrist and stop them from escaping, and you all die together. Does everybody pick up on that now? Are you getting that? Because I'm not lying. You can look that up. That's what they told their people before all this. They knew. That's why they put it out. That's why they put out the thing. That's why the WHO is scared to touch this, because they know this is a weapon of mass destruction, people. There are people dying in the streets now. Once you understand that, how bad it is, they're showing them, they fall down, they die in the street. Then people come in white suits and they zip them up in a white bag. Why a white bag? Well, let's go further. Okay, let's talk about this for a minute. Do you think that they're building a medical facility in 5 days next to that place? You think they're going to build a 50-story hospital? I think they're building a crematorium with a few rooms in it. I think this place is going to make Auschwitz look like Kindercare. Kinder is a German word for children. They called up Kindercare is where they take care of children. That over in the United States now we have Kindercares that are basically, they are children's, daycare centers where the mother can go to work and the child can go into Kindercare. In case you're from another country, that may seem odd to you. I think that this okay, is going to make Auschwitz look like a Kindercare, where they actually take care of people. And they did not take care of people at Auschwitz. One line was for the older people and babies because they didn't want to hear them cry and they didn't want to deal with the older people. The other was for ones they could make to work. And the line with they would tell them when they got off the train, hurry up and give the babies to your grandparents. The people didn't understand why. Okay, they did it. The grandparents and the babies went straight away to the gas chamber, and then they went straight to the crematorium, and up the chimney they went. The other ones were put in another line, and they're like, oh my God, they just killed my baby. Yes, but you're still alive, is what they would tell them. These were the really, really malnourished Jews that were in striped suits that were also in the jail in the Auschwitz, but they were being used to get people off the cattle trains. And that's what they told them. No, leave your luggage here, leave this here. Yeah, and then of course, they took their gold teeth and that kind of stuff. I'm just telling you, this is going to make Auschwitz look like Kindercare because there are going to be so many dead people. All they're going to be able to do is put them in a crematorium. There's not enough places to bury 11 million people. Back when they had the Spanish flu, there was not enough caskets. They ran out of caskets. Okay, this is real. Look it up. So this evil duo right here may have ended human life as we know it. They just now released 2 people from hospitals. They said that they actually beat the coronavirus. The truth is, since this is now possibly, and I likely think so, a bioengineered pathogen, not just an epidemic, but a pandemic, but it's of epic proportions. This thing is so bad that, like I said, if it's bioengineered, it's similar to anthrax. Anthrax has a naturally occurring state, then it also has the, weapon of mass destruction, Okay. This weapon of mass destruction that they created may be the end of mankind. You can call me insane. You can call me crazy. I don't care. I go with facts, okay? This is the CBC out of Canada, people. Okay? CBC out of Canada put this out. Now, I'm going to go down here on this too. Canadian government. Let me just go ahead and move this up to here. I think I can work this out. I think I can get you a better view. So, let's see what we can do here. And it's going to need to move over to the right. I bring you better news out of my cigar box, having a cigar and coffee, than you'll find on the news. I promise you, people, this is a lie. Canadian government, scientists under investigation, trained staff at a level 4 its research facility is the end of that. I can't click this link because this device will not work in that way. Okay, so forgive me, but I will give you the link in the description when this video goes over and you can look it out for yourself. CBC Canada means Canadian Broadcasting Company. CA is not California, it's Canada. Okay, all right, people, so we're on the same page here. I'm gonna see what else this guy put up because he's got some good link. Oh, that was just a reply. This is just the thread. Okay, so husband and wife team. Now I'm gonna go back real quick from that thread. I'm gonna try to go back. This device is slow, so forgive me for my slow internet, but I'm bringing you the truth, people. This is a bioengineering disaster. This is our worst nightmare. And if you think I'm lying, look up where people are now falling dead in the streets in China before they get to the hospital. Let's see what he's got. Oh, that's just his page here. I was trying to see if he had another link up because there was another link up. Let's see. Oh, this is the guy here. This was a doctor, and I actually retweeted this, and I was like, yeah, you know what? That is interesting. It says, oh, let me get you so you can see it. There's a graph, but I'm going to go down here because he couldn't believe it. This is a doctor, and this was his words on it. Holy Mother of God. Okay? That'd be Mary, in case you don't know. That was her name. Holy Mother of God, the new coronavirus is a 3.8. How bad is that reproductive RO value? It is thermonuclear pandemic level bad. He has never seen an actual virality coefficient outside of Twitter in his entire career. In other words, he's talking about outside of things moving up. Listen, people, the news will not tell you this, but I'm going to tell you this. If those 2 people are even still contagious, and they may be because this is by design, this pathogen, this epidemic, this pandemic is man-made. They caught the 2, okay? They know they caught them definitely that they had sent pathogens to Wuhan, China. The husband is a researcher, and his prominent work, all he does is coronavirus research. They were caught as spies. They lied about their travel to Wuhan, China. Okay? So, take what I've done and go further. Debunk me. I welcome it. All right? I'm bringing you the truth. Okay? Let's see if I can go further on anything else he's put up. You should see, I've seen more on this, a couple more things. That's where the husband and wife team, CBC Canada. Let's see. Man, this is just who else to follow. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is what you need to read too. Oh, I don't think he's going to actually click on that, but I did touch it. Let's see what we got here. Okay. All right. Bill Gertz is one of the top national security journalists in the world. This is his latest piece on the biowarfare labs in Wuhan. So listen and let that sink in, people. Wuhan was not a tourist attraction to go and see the world's greatest magician or the biggest chicken or the biggest frying pan. This place was a bio-warfare lab with a town built to support it. They have built cities in China that aren't even being used right now. I'm telling you, they need to build Wuhan too, and if anybody does live, that's where they'll live. They don't even need to go back to this place. They need to burn it down. Why? Because it is covered with a biohazard contagion that will cause an epidemic, pandemic if anyone goes there. And it is a hot zone filled with a weapon of mass destruction. There does not need to be a Wuhan, and anywhere else that it spreads from should be looked at as suspect to maybe be burned down too. But this place is going to have to be burned down, not just the market, simply because this is like anthrax that has been laboratory recreated and changed and made more deadly into a weapon of mass destruction. This disease is a weapon of mass destruction. It has been changed. It is no longer coronavirus. It's not even close to H1N1. This would be H1N1 2.0. No, 7.0. It's leagues beyond anything they could contain. And I don't think they would ever be able to find an antidote for it. They always want to use poisons they can use an antidote for. There will be no antidote for this. And it never should have got out. But I think that because the amount of this disease that's in that town, I think that town should be now looked at as Chernobyl. It is a foregone conclusion already that certain amount of people die, certain amount of people live. I think the city itself, the buildings, not necessarily if anyone survives, but I think that they need to take any survivors and leave that city and raze it to the ground with fire. It needs to be destroyed because this is a weapon of mass destruction that's been let loose in there. And it's not even, this is not mustard gas. This is not one of those things where they could clean it up. This is a living biohazard. That's it and that's all. There's no fixing this. Not for that town and maybe not for others, but definitely not for that town. Because if a biowarfare, this is not bio research. This is not bioengineering. This is biowarfare. They were never intending to let this out until they had an antidote, and they were never intending to use this for peaceful human purposes. Nobody at that lab is ever, or if they're probably dead now, but they're probably were never going to get the Nobel Peace Prize. This is not something that you make like dynamite and it digs tunnels, but then at the same time, it could also kill people if it's used in the wrong way, like putting, other things. So the person that invented gunpowder, okay, he found out a good way to make something that was helpful with dynamite. Okay, doesn't mean he's a bad guy because they also used it in warfare. These people, you can find no good use for this, and it was created in a bio warfare lab. And guess where that was located? Wuhan. Wuhan. Look at the hashtag. I've been putting it everywhere. So from day one, I've been saying quarantine. I've been scratching my head, but I'm like, no, there's a DNA marker from snakes in there. It's real. It's real. It was snake DNA. So you got to come to the conclusion, well, those snakes do eat bats. So it had to be a sick bat. It had to also be a sick snake. It had to also be a sick person. Boy, that's a perfect storm. I said that had to be a perfect storm for this to happen, right, people? That's what I said. Well, it didn't. Honestly, mathematical reasoning will tell you why would he undercook a snake and be sick, and the whole line of them were sick. It's almost not likely, I would say, a very, very small likelihood that that could ever happen. But it's highly likely that someone who is the lead research in coronaviruses took a petri dish, sent it to China, took another one with snake DNA and something else that if you mix the two together, it can make some nasty stuff. Hey, check this out, guys. Try this when you get there. And it got loose in Wuhan, China, and 11 million people are now paying the price for weapons warfare in biological research. Biowarfare is what it's called. But it creates a weapon of mass destruction. I hope that someone important is listening. Maybe these two people can give us more information about what they think might be an antidote. Because if you're looking for a vaccine, I'm going to give you some bad news. Like I said the other day, there's no cure for SARS. They've had it for 17 years, people, and they never found any kind of a vaccine for it. There's no treatment for it. There's no antidote for it. All they can do is throw antibiotics at it, or throw, maybe even give them a shot of testosterone, and they can put them in a negative pressure environment where you open the door, but the wind sucked in through the other side and it only goes one way and that's filtered out. And they can put them in an oxygen tent. And like I said, when I had pneumonia too, when I was very young, which started me on my research days, because that stuff almost killed me, you will feel like you are dying. You are thinking it's better to die. You're going to think, man, if I just die, this will stop. And then you'll feel better if you get over it. If not, you might actually die. This stuff, I would like to know if it does mutate, but I'd like to know the death rate. I'm going to put it, honestly, I'm going to say if this is in the same class of germ warfare as what they were doing with anthrax. Anthrax was invented, back in the 60s? Well, maybe earlier? I don't know. Okay, so let's go further. This is 2020. What do you think they can do with this now? Well, they can make it incubate for 20 days. Okay, 2 weeks, 14 days, whatever. They can make you contagious during that time with it. They can give it the ability to mutate. They can make it with snake DNA so that it will really compound the situation and confuse you. So now it can actually live in snakes. So if you take that thing and if it can live in a snake, it has a possibility of killing not only all the warm-blooded mammals on the planet, but also all the cold-blooded mammals also. Make all the comments you want, people. I'm just bringing you the truth. I don't know that we were going to get the truth, but it just so happens that someone got arrested, and it just so happens someone in the lab was like, what in the actual heck is going on here? I'm going to try to keep this clean. Like whiskey, tango, foxtrot, over. Just saying. This is this kind of bad. Share this video with the planet because they deserve to know the truth. You can share it now. You can get off the live and share it now and come back. I'm going to be here for at least, I'm saying, another hour. We're going to get this word out. So I would like to thank, though, that group, whoever this person is, God bless them. This hashtag NCOV2019 is their name on Twitter. They created a group where doctors can convene and bounce ideas off each other to try to figure out just what the actual hell this is. I posted to their channel, let me know who they were. I told them they need to do YouTube videos. I don't know if it's government. I don't know if it's Q. I don't know who it is. But they led me to this, okay? And I'm breaking this to you, but I did not break this. Kyle Bass broke this. CBC Canada. Let's see if I can get to the thing on it. Well, either way, it was on, that's WashingtonTimes.com now, but CBC broke it. So now it's in the Washington Times. I'm not the first. I am not crazy. This is news. It is true. Hashtag it Veritas. I'm saying case closed. I busted their ass when they tried to say that they did not shoot down the Iranian airplane. I'm not trying to blow my own whistle, but I knew I'd get to the bottom of this if I worked hard enough. And I've been working my tail off on this, people. I can't tell you how much coffee I've drank. I think I can say case closed now. If you think you know better how a snake can get DNA of it into, I'm telling you, this was patient zero was a petri dish in Canada, or it was half in a petri dish in Canada. The other half was the snake DNA mixed with the other biomarkers that would activate it, sent in a different petri dish to Wuhan, China. Wuhan either inadvertently had a spill, or they used it on their own people for what you would call, quote unquote, testing, like nuclear testing, and it got out of hand too. Or one of the lab researchers says, what the hell are we making here? I thought I was going to college to be a scientist to help mankind. We're building things that's going to kill mankind. I'm going to let it out here and we're all going to die. We should die for making this. And he took the samurai sword. He fell on his own sword. I'll let you make all the comments you want if you think the man fell on his own sword or not. I'm starting to lend credence to that thought simply because in the same way that the Chinese government said, let the strong hand hold back the weak wrist. In other words, if you're a researcher and you're wanting to blow the cap off this and you're in China, your other colleagues will hold you back. If you're in Wuhan and you want to escape through the train tunnels to get to the next town to actually get help because people are dying, falling down, dying in the streets before they get to the hospital, well, guess what? You might want to not go because they're going to, it's not just the other people holding them back. They got Chinese military standing there with long guns. I could show you. Okay. At this point, they've taken the Raiden approach. I don't know if you know about Mortal Kombat, but Raiden, I'm pretty sure, no, maybe he doesn't have one. Maybe it's one of the ninja guys that have that. Anyhow, the face masks, yeah, they're wearing the face mask. They don't want you near them. They don't want to get that disease from you. And those long guns are for long range to keep you upwind of them and away from them so they can continue to do their job. Their job's to make sure that if you die or if you live, you don't pass that point and they don't get the disease either. And they're wearing masks. So those masks they know don't save them. And the women that are in there crying their eyes out in that research facility, I think have been told the truth. And they know that this is similar to this is a weapon of mass destruction. This is similar to anthrax, and it's bioengineered, and that there just is not going to be a cure. And probably there will be now, once the true numbers come out and the people dying in the streets. I think that this is going to be worse than, man, I don't know what the percentage of dead's going to be. I think it's already beat the 3%. It's probably now at probably 50%. And I think that it's going to be a worse human loss of life and a worse disaster than all of the world wars, and also including the deaths that were caused by the Spanish flu. This is just I've got a math brain and I don't know how to explain it, but math problems, when I look at something, I'll either work on it for days in my mind, in the back of my mind, or numbers will come to me and bam, if it's a mathematical problem, it'll give me the answer. I don't do a whole lot of long division, but a decent problem, I knock out variables. This right here, that is just my instant conclusion that just comes to me just like that, is this will be worse than the World War, all the deaths in the World Wars, and including the Spanish flu. It may be contained and may not get past the Great Wall of China on one end. However, it's already been flown to us. We don't know. They're treating it like Ebola, which I said they should. That's genius. How about that? But I'm glad they did. I'm so glad they're treating it like Ebola. They're putting people in those, and they need to do that. They may need to consider each house that these people have been in once they get sick as something that needs to be burned down. They may need to keep them on observation longer than they are, because it may actually have a recurring event that can come back in the person, because they found that Ebola itself is not man-made, but it's still living in eyeballs of people who have had this, who are like, hey, look, I'm clear. Look, let's go play golf, right? Okay, these doctors even, but then they tested their eye, and even like 6 months later, they were still contagious in their eye. So And I apologize if I haven't been reading the comments, and I've got like 43 people it's showing in the room. So either they're giving me actual numbers or something close to it, or I've got so many thousands in here I don't even know about. And I've never had it be people in the room before, but I appreciate you coming, and I'm just bringing you the truth. So I'm going to go to my tweet, and I will let you see where my channel is real quick, because I retweeted his, but I'll show you what I put there. I did want to see if he had anything else on the research on this. We've been trying to figure out just what in the actual hell is going on with this. Let's see. Skeptical of the lab. Let's see. Okay. Well, here's a good one. In Wuhan. Oh, this guy's all over it. Okay, we got to read this too. Listen, people, you got to get on Twitter. That's where all smart people are at. So, okay. How about this? Look at where it's located. China's top virus lab is Wuhan, the center of the outbreak. Their top lab, the one they would have sent it to. So if these people, I don't think we ever need to let them go back, because we might need them. We need them in their own research lab to find a cure for this. We need those two people to write down everything they know. Oh my God, Canada. Oh, Canada. Back to that. Oh, Canada, when you're done with them, we probably want to look at them, but oh, Canada, please get the answer out of these people before something might happen to them. Get them. Matter of fact, while you're at it, have them wear bulletproof vests, give them the best health care, give them pizza if they want it every day, give them whatever they want, and keep them fed and happy. We need their brain, you know what I'm saying, to be working, and give them coffee. Coffee's awesome. So I'm just saying, people, we need these people alive and to be talking and working and finding an answer to this, because they created it. The only declared now, because they may have other ones, virology lab in China is in Wuhan. Top biologists were skeptical of the lab when it was built in 2017 and were worried that testing SARS or MERS, because it could come, guess what? What did I say? A weapon of mass destruction and biological weapons on animals there might be problematic. Here, can you see? Oh, I've got an arrow. Yeah, you can read. You read that, but I don't, because I've got an arrow on my screen that scrolls down. But it says problematic. Problematic, I would like to say, would be a gross understatement of the facts. I think that word, they need to upgrade the word problematic and just put a problem. We're going to have a new name, okay? Because everybody talks about Chernobyl. This will be in your history, people. You'll be in the history books, okay? This will. I won't be. Maybe the research will be. I'm saying there will be one day a word that will be synonymous with problematic to the nth level, infinity, etc., al infinitum. And it will be called Wuhan. And maybe they'll destroy the city and there won't be nothing left. They can bury it. They can cover it up. But guess what? There will still be the word Wuhan. When someone says Wuhan, people, after all of these people die, and whoever knows how many more will die because we can't fight this, will be saying, if you say Wuhan, it will shiver them to their spine and they will turn their head and say, what did you say? There will be a day that this will happen. The word Wuhan will be synonymous with the rider of death, okay, of the horsemen of the apocalypse. So I'm gonna go see if I can get something else off of this. But here are the hashtags. You need to know the hashtags so that you can investigate this on YouTube, on Twitter, anywhere that they were putting up actual information about this. And this is all I'm trying to do, is bring you people information about this subject. Give me a second here, because I have got, let's see, we got a mount that is almost worthless, and I'm doing the best I can with the technology that I do not have, but I'm doing the best I can. So people, these are the hashtags that you need to use for this event. And like I said, it's going to fight me on this mount. It's definitely not wanting to mount. We will see what happens with that. I know what I need to do is just go ahead and drop this down. Let me move you people. I'm still actually trying to figure out the best way to bring it to you. There we go, though. You get the point. All right. So these are the hashtags you need to look at if you are trying to find one more to it. The person that, whoever those, bless their hearts for what they've done on Twitter, would be this. hashtag. Oh, hold a second. Let me just do it right here. So I'm not trying to make it where you can't read it because I'll be still using this hashtag. And this is actually their channel. It starts out NCOV 2019, and then hashtag for the actual virus is 2019 because it was in December. N for novel because it's new. 2019 dash, or without the dash, NCOV because CO is corona and V is for virus, but coronavirus, COV. That's what you want to do if you want to do any of this research for yourself and look on Twitter. Now, coronavirus, because it's like a corona. Coronavirus is how you spell it, just like the beer, CORONA. And we're going to all want some coronas when this is done. And then using CRONOVIRUS is okay to find research, okay? Because people are, let me move it so you can actually see that, CORONO. Even though this is an incorrect spelling, so many people are using that everyone has suggested let's go ahead and use it, and so that it disseminates to the populace. I truly do know that Canada is telling the truth about this couple. I truly do not know if anyone else other than the Washington Post is going to pick up on this in the United States. I doubt that you're going to hear it in countries that have this virus. Like, I want to say they had one in Pakistan. I put a list up. I'll show that in a second, and it's probably more than that now, but I'm hoping those single cases can actually be contained, and maybe those people are not a biohazard to this weapon for the rest of their lives, and maybe they don't need to be contained in a certain place. But put that thought in the back of your head, because it may be engineered that way. I don't know. This is not normal. This is not naturally occurring anthrax. This is more similar to weapons grade anthrax. So what it is it's coronavirus, but it's been genetically modified in a damn lab to kill. It is designed to kill, and it's doing its job. People are falling dead in the streets in China before they get to the doctor, and I think that they've been turned away from the hospital so that they can technically say that the beds aren't full and the dead are in the hallway. I think they're like, we can't take you in because they are waiting outside the hospital. Technically, you can't register yourself right now because then we'll have to say that the beds are full. Okay, it's a lie by omission. Okay, plausible deniability, deflection from the truth. Let's see what we can get here, though. Hold tight with me, people, because there's more to this. There's just so much more that that's been put up. That was the Washington Times. Let's see. Here we go. This and everything else I'm doing, but this. Okay. Let's see if I can maybe adjust it. Like I said, I may have to drop it back down so you can see it. It's hard to bring you Twitter with my limited technology, but I'm doing the best I can. Please forgive me. I'm going to zoom so you can see, though. All right, so check this out, and I'll show you. I will get to my page, but there's still more on his. Okay. Bill Gertz is one of the top national security journalists in the world. This is his latest piece on the biowarfare labs in Wuhan. Virus hit Wuhan. Has 2 laboratories linked to Chinese biowarfare program. Okay. That was from the Washington Times. Okay, I'll let you see this. This is not me saying this. This is WashingtonTimes.com. Okay, the Washington Times. That's the name of the story. That's the picture they're using. Hashtag is outbreak and coronavirus. All right, so hold tight. I've got, let's see what we got here. This is talking about disgraced soon to be former leader of Hong Kong. That's just about Hong Kong. We're not worried about that. That's almost, we're going to find out. We're going to find out what happens. Let's see. And they're divesting, in Asia, period. And they were trying to do it slow at first. I think that a lot more people knew about this couple and that this had happened, that it was sent. Otherwise, how would they know that they had sent it ahead of time? If they were lying about the airplane flights going there, why would they not also lie that they had sent it there? I think they were already busted for sending it there before it got leaked and started killing people. That's just what I think. That's my own opinion. A lot of this is opinion. Let's see what we got here. So give me half a second. That was the Holy Mother of God, the new one. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, here we go. Not good when coming from a respected public health scientist. We just have to hope the mortality rate hovers around 3%. It's not. It's going to change when it mutates the other two times. And it may be something that stays living for, like, if the snake can go dormant. I don't know what they did to this disease, but it could go dormant but still be deadly when it touches your skin or something. I don't know how they developed this in this lab. But anthrax they mailed that in an envelope and tried to hurt people, and they said it could have hurt people. Honestly, this stuff could be just the okay. When I was running chemical tankers, they would wash them out, and the residue, that's the word, residue from certain things can kill people. Just the residue of this may continue to be deadly forever. Okay, that's eternity. You know, like I said, al infinitum, it does not end. Forever and ever. Let's see what we got here. Let me see if I can. I'm going to go back to my channel on that real quick, and I'm going to show you something and what I put. I want you to read. Let's see. I'm not sure if I read this. I'll read it again. I don't even care. A husband and wife Chinese spy team were recently removed from a level 4 infectious disease facility in Canada for sending pathogens. So they caught them sending pathogens, coronavirus, okay, to the Wuhan facility. The husband specialized in coronavirus research. You get where I'm at, people? Now, I did not question the absolute fact that snake DNA in it. I pondered and could not understand what type of a perfect storm it would take for a bat to be sick, a snake to be sick, a person to be sick, and he undercooked the meat. Because you're very careful when you're cooking meat. And look, there's some people, you never want to undercook, ever want to undercook salmon. Okay, because there's a couple that had a tapeworm from that, and some have died from. Look, undercooking fish, and I've never believed in sushi. People like sushi. That snake, I'm quite sure, because it was venomous, would have been cooked properly. I would have thought. Even though if you cut off the head of a snake, you can eat the rest of the meat. Just because the snake is venomous, you can eat snake, even if it's poisonous. You cut the head off. The glands and the teeth, you know, just don't touch them. Burn them. But also in the same way that anthrax, the dust from it on your leg can get it to you from the rats, the dust from their crap, and people would bed down and they would be in the teepee, or if you even camp out there now, if you are at ground level, it said don't want to bed down anywhere near rats because just the dust from their feces can give you anthrax. Well, maybe just the dust from this stuff right here can also kill you. So the question is, how long will this living pathogen be dangerous? Even after a person is not infectious, is the residue deadly forever? Is it? I don't know. Ask these two people. This chick right here needs to be really well fed and taken care of until her and her husband can tell us what they did and what would be an antidote to it and what they designed it for and how long they tried to make it live. We need to know the exact death rate and how they think it's going to mutate. We need to know everything that's in her brain. Okay, not the lady on the left, the Chinese lady there. Okay, and her husband. So they just don't have a picture of her. So I'm gonna go. I'll show you something else here too. I'm not believing this myself, people. So just so you understand, I don't do this lightly, not in any kind of way. But it's already made. New York Times, Washington Post. I don't think you're going to see it. You might see it on Fox. I'm just telling you that there will be no antidote. This is a bioweapon. this is a weapon of mass destruction. Okay. And there's not going to be an antidote for something that's just been, even if it was a new virus, but because they took 17 years and they still haven't found any kind of a antidote or a any kind of a vaccine that would kill either SARS or MERS. This is SARS 7.0. SARS 7.0. I'm gonna start a new hashtag. Okay, that's where I'm at on this. I'm not even lying. Look, I'm gonna write it down right now so I remember it. SARS 7.0 hashtag. That's the new hashtag right there. SARS 7.0. I'll put that up. And so if you're talking about the truth about this, it'll be under SARS 7.0. Okay, so I don't think that all the researchers on the whole the planet, I'll put it to you like this. If you encounter a bioweapon, you will die. That's what it's designed to do. It's just like if you don't put gas in your car, you won't go anywhere. It's that simple. This is a bioweapon. This is no longer a sickness. And it doesn't cause a cold that could cause a flu. It causes the flu immediately. You have water in your lungs because there's these things in your lungs that are growing and they're like legions inside of your lungs. It probably damages the cilia. And once you damage lungs, you'll be damaged for the rest of your life, but it also could cause neurological problems because your lack of oxygen. It could cause problems with this one lady had flu B, and that's killing people in Texas and in Canada. But the flu B on a lady in Canada made her so that she had some kind of an infection in her brain. And she couldn't move her toes now, and she forgets things, but she's like, I don't care. At least I'm living. At least I lived through it. And that's how you feel after you had pneumonia. Ask me. Pneumonia too, people. I can hold my hand up. Have you been there? It's you think you're dying. You wish you were dead. And when it's over, you will not forget it. And it's not something you want to encounter again. This causes that to the nth degree. I don't think there's a success rate with this. They said that they let 2 people out. I'm going to be honest with you. It's a bioweapon. How do you counter that? Whew, lots of good luck, maybe a slight transmission that is able to somehow be beat by your genetics. That look, we're going to find out at this point. It's survival of the fittest. It may be an oddity that some people have some kind of a natural ability to block this. There's some people that are not actually able to contract AIDS or HIV. I will say this: AIDS is going to be eradicated. I'm going to go ahead and say this here, and that's further than what you want to hear can maybe handle. If you can't handle more information, you can leave now. AIDS will be eradicated. It's not going to be cured. It's going to be eradicated. Tuberculosis will be eradicated from the planet now. From the planet. Okay. Ebola, if they catch it down there, yeah, Ebola will be eradicated also. Because they're saying, and also anyone with heart disease, pre-existing conditions, over 60 and under the age of 5 could also die, and that could be eradicated from this one accident or purposeful distribution of this disease. Why am I saying these things? Because they're trying to blame the people that died on having a pre-existing condition. One of them was a doctor that just died there. I think he was 60. He just died fighting this disease. I'll show that in a second, a picture of this man. He was fighting this disease in the hospital against other, all odds there, and he was treating people, and he died of this disease. So I'm going to tell you, they're going to try to say he had a pre-existing condition of a heart problem or whatever. It doesn't matter if you have any pre-existing, anything that stops you from being able to fight the battle of your life, you will die. So anyone who's has a previous condition with heart condition, or even just their immune system hasn't come in yet because they're a baby, or even they've had shots and it's weakened their immune system when they get their inoculations, or at the age of 5 or below because they do have a normally weaker immune system than everyone else. Anyone over the age of 60 could probably die from this because it's not just, like I said, it's a bioweapon. Once you start thinking bioweapon, yeah, that's what it does. It will kill anyone. It's not going to spare many, I don't think. I think also, like I said, any condition that weakens your immune system will make you too weak to fight this off and you will die from it. So this virus is going to eradicate globally anyone with HIV along with HIV, tuberculosis, people who have had heart attacks before, and they've had any type of a heart, it could be me even. I could be waiting on my heart attack. I don't know, because you never know. People have heart attacks. My father had one. I may be in a higher risk group because I haven't had mine yet. I could have one, or I could have a heart blockage. Any kind of a heart blockage, they're saying, will make this disease kill you. Any pre-existing condition that makes you not a superhuman or in super fit shape. They have had baseball players die playing baseball who were in the fittest shape, better shape than me, run every day, just fall dead from heart attacks. Okay? You never know when that's going. So if in any way you are compromised, in any way, any weakness you have, you won't be strong enough to fight this off and you will die. So I'm saying it now. This disease is going to not just kill a lot of people, it's going to eradicate AIDS, tuberculosis. It's going to kill a lot of heart victims. This is the end of the people who are in those higher risk groups for this disease. Just like when you have AIDS, you don't die of AIDS. First, it's HIV, then AIDS, and then you will die of likely pneumonia, a regular pneumonia, because it wouldn't kill a normal person, but you don't have the ability to make whatever it is, antibodies, and your helper. I think the helper T cell level is lower in those people. So when you look at it, they've already been compromised, and they're just waiting for that moment of death, for even someone to sneeze on them, and then a regulatory cold will automatically turn into pneumonia in them because they have a weaker immune system. Think of yourself as having a weaker immune system to this disease if you are having any of those conditions I just previously mentioned. Okay? So, or if you are waiting to have a heart attack and don't even know it, they will say, oh, for this reason. They're dying in the streets. They also have died in the hallway waiting to be tested. So because of that, they die and they don't test them and maybe bury them or put them up the chimney that they probably have a crematorium, or they die and then they are tested. They just did a recent case where someone died on Wednesday and they were confirmed to have the coronavirus on Thursday, the day later. So they died on Wednesday and they were confirmed to have the virus on Thursday. It doesn't mean they died in a day. It means they weren't treated and then they were confirmed. So the whole time they were infectious. They're expecting. And I should have 3 million people in the room right now. So share this with everybody, because out of 7.5 billion people on the planet, I'm giving you the truth here. It's going to take out a lot of people. And this is a bioweapon. It's a contagion. It's not just an epidemic, it's a pandemic. And there's nothing they can do. There's no cure. It wasn't born, it was invented. So they took the worst thing they could find, which is a coronavirus, and they made it SARS 7.0. So that's the hashtag I'm going to use to describe it. I'm going to put that up. Follow that stuff. Don't follow me. Don't follow me. I don't need followers. Follow the research. Follow 2019 NCOV up here. Hashtag 2019 NCOV. I'll get that in there. Okay. That top, this one. I'm sorry. NCOV 2019. That's the person on Twitter you want to follow. And you can watch when I drop a video, because I'm bringing you the truth. I did not expect to find this information. I did not expect for this to be the outcome. I'm breaking this story to you and to a lot of people I know, but I did not break this story. This story was broke in Canada by a researcher who saw someone being arrested and they told about it. Okay? This story was broke by Canadian Public Broadcasting. But this is important for you to know this. So I'm bringing it to my people, and you bring it to your people. If you have a YouTube channel, you could share this video. You could make your own video. At least tell them this is a weapon of mass destruction that you may not live through. Understand it and know that you may need help at a hospital when you're sick. You have to call first, though. That's the rule, is they're saying if you think you have this when it does come around, you're going to need to call the hospital first. Our government said this. If you think that you've been in contact with someone who has this disease, or that you have went to an area like Wuhan or any of the affected areas, and you may have contracted this disease and you feel the flu symptoms and you can't breathe, you have a high fever, something you just can't shake, call first so that they can contain you in a way that's helpful and healthy to the rest of the people. And wear a mask before you go there. Make sure it's on the proper way. I did a video and showed yesterday the proper way the guy showed, holding it at the nose and putting it under your chin and all this stuff. And once you go down to your neck with it, you throw it away, because the outside of your neck has got the disease on it too. So if you're, I'm saying you want to wash your hands all the way up to your wrists. Up to your elbows. I'm sorry, and wash for at least a few minutes. And you want to definitely wear a mask if you have it. But once your area is affected by this, it will be a law that you'll have to wear those masks. Just like, it's going to be a part of your wardrobe, people. Get used to it. So just like they're doing in China. I don't know if China itself is a foregone conclusion. I don't know how they can possibly contain this Chinese Lunar New Year. And what would be the perfect time for something this to happen, when more people that are traveling ever, hundreds of millions of people are currently traveling in China, and were traveling and have already spread it even to here. There's one, I think there's a case in Chicago with a couple. I'll get to that list of that. The point is, that part is the perfect storm. That part, did they let it out at that time? Oh man, on purpose? I don't know, because you're not talking about a government. You're talking about rogue individuals that could have done this in the level 4 center of that research place in Wuhan. We are all grappling with the thought process of this and trying to not believe it. Everybody's beating their heads against the wall saying, is this within the realm of possibility and reality? Is this even possible that this has happened? It's already out. It's already out, and we're trying to figure it out. There's not going to be a cure for this. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. They didn't find a cure for the naturally occurring coronavirus that we've had for 17 years. The ability to try to find something for. There's not even a treatment for it. You either live or die. This stuff right here is like weapons grade anthrax. There's no cure. You probably will die from the weapons grade anthrax, and they wanted people to die from this, but somehow they're saying a couple lived through it. I don't know if they're still contagious or not. And the residue from this type of lab created thing may be designed to live on the surface of the planet forever, indefinitely. I don't know how they designed it. It's designed, people. This is not me saying this, okay? This is all of the news services that are talking about these people who worked in the biolab, who were found to be a married Chinese couple that are found to be spies. Okay, so let's see here. Let me see if I can find where I put the list, and this is outdated. I'm going to be honest with you. This is an outdated list that I put up. This one is where they're dying in the streets. They fell down. I can't show that. This is it. I'll put a link up to it if I can off my channel. It's best just to go there, just to go to Twitter. You don't have to follow me to look at it. You can just look at it. This is what you want to watch. This is where they're dying in the streets, and I put this up. Hopefully I can focus this right quick. Okay, look. This is what I put up on my channel 2 hours ago on a different tweet. I have to zoom to bring it to you. Let me center this so I don't lose it in zoom. All right. This was a retweet for someone else's post. Okay. All right. I've been talking and I haven't been drinking. Don't think I'm sick here, people. But you won't catch it through this. I can promise you that. Okay. They're dying in the streets is what I put. But this is what they put. Absolutely ridiculous. Okay. This was from Yoongi Korgi. I don't even know what that means, but absolutely ridiculous that the corona outbreak has just been declared an emergency, because they should have done it 3 or 4 days ago. The World Health Organization, what they're calling the WHO, some people call them WHO. Yeah. While this, you know what? I'll go further with that in a second. They should have. But while this has been happening in Wuhan, please stay safe, everyone. Well, it's kind of hard to stay safe from a, like I said, this is bioengineered. This is a weapon of mass destruction. So This right here is a video that you need to watch, and if I hit play right here, it won't even play it. So please forgive me for that. I can do it on the device I'm using right now to record on. Go there and watch this video. It shows videos that are clipped together, little piece, little piece, little piece. The reason that you see the video this way is for this reason. If you're holding a phone and you look like you're talking on it, you can secretly record a video and the video looks like crap and it's up and down, okay? If you are holding it sideways like it's a camera, they will arrest you and kill you and charge your family for the bullet. So these people have to do these videos up and down like this, okay? It's not a free country over there. We're lucky they're sending it out. These are people that know they're going to die and they're screaming. This is their last gasp of cry for help to tell us what's going to happen to us, knowing they're going to die. They want you to see this. Please watch this. Some of them have already died from this that have done the videos. They all know they're going to die. So they've put this out and they somehow smuggled it out onto the regular internet from their Chinese intranet. So at least watch the video. At least give them that. And this is the video that I put up a link to on my channel. Okay. There you go. You can find my channel and find that tweet and hit that video and watch it. I don't care if you leave and do it now. It's more important at this point. I've told you a lot of stuff. You can leave now. You can go there. You can come back. It doesn't matter. I'll be on here for another probably 30 minutes. The whole point is that, or 15, I think. The whole point is this. There's a lot more of this information and video that's coming out of China that are showing that people are dying in the streets because they've either been turned away from the hospital or they're not even at this point making it to the hospital. They are now calling this second generation of this disease, like it has evolved to its second generation. I don't claim to know what that entails because I don't know the death rate of the new one. I don't know the transmission rate of the new one, but it's going to be worse because it's the virus trying to survive. It's adapting to survive. It's not getting weaker. It's getting stronger and more virulent and more able to live inside of its human host and reproduce itself to move to other people. That's what viruses do. They try to live, just like you're trying to live. So it's adapting itself to its human host. It's not going to get weaker. It's getting worse. So imagine if the anthrax virus was in someone and instead of it killing them, it had a 2-week incubation period to figure out their entire, ribonucleic DNA, everything about them, it knows, and remap their DNA so that it can live in there and then changed so it can live in the next person. So it's got plenty of time to figure people out because it has a 2-week incubation period. Okay. And those people are contagious during those 2 weeks. They have now found out. Someone built the perfect deadly pathogen. And we're going to have to come up with a name for it. Okay. And it's one of those things where the WHO is going to name it. I think they need to know what it is before they name it, because it's not just a novel virus at this point. This is weapons grade coronavirus. That's what I'm going to call it, because they have anthrax and then they have weapons grade anthrax. There is a coronavirus that's naturally occurring, just like anthrax. This is weapons grade coronavirus, SARS 7.0. So weapons grade coronavirus is what I would humbly submit. Okay, let's go further because there was something else that I wanted to put up. That there was the countries that were affected, which is, it's out of date. I'll admit that it's out of date. But I wanted to put it up because the numbers are going to be wrong, but at least the countries will be correct, as far as I know. These are all the countries that are currently affected by this. Let's see here. Okay, that's the first of the thread, and then there's some left. So I'm going to just scroll down to show you this thread. Here's how I'm going to do this. This is what I'm calling the breakdown. And I can't edit it all the time. And even in COV that's doing this 24/7, they can't possibly keep up. So they're doing it every day at 7 p.m. Okay, is when they're updating it. So this has to do with everyone. I don't care if you like me or not. You need to read up on this and you need to learn about this. This is what's going to kill you. Okay, so the breakdown. There was, as of yesterday, Okay, the first number, 1281, all right, is what they're admitting to of actual cases of people that have it in China, to 1,300. It jumped to 1,300. The true numbers that are coming from doctors, however, in China are saying 10,800 to, there's one video that we don't know if it's fake or not, but it's a doctor telling people, showing himself in a biohazard suit, and another one talking on the phone that's a nurse crying and also crying her eyes out and saying that the doctors are saying that it's 100,000 plus people, that was yesterday, that are infected in China. So the true numbers are anywhere from 10,800, which I was saying from day one, that day one, when it was a couple weeks in, though, they were saying, given a number of 100 and something, but doctors were saying, no, it's probably like 1,720. The second true number was like 2,500. The second true number was like 6,000 or 6,000 plus. This falls right in line with going progressively up from that to now it being 10,800 yesterday, up to what they're saying, though, or a few days ago, what they're saying, though, yesterday was 100,000 plus in China infected. Now, they're saying 41 dead. You can't possibly say that you have 41 dead people if there's another 50 in the hallway that you've not yet tested, but they died before you tested them. There's another 1,000 in the street that are being picked up by people, and they have now called in the Chinese army medics. This word got out as of yesterday, early. The Chinese army medics are being put out there to try to help. They are building round the clock with all these excavators, trying to build a hospital. I think that hospital is going to be a few rooms and about a 15 stack crematorium in the back, maybe 30, maybe 50, however many people they have to burn at a time. And they're going to burn the bodies because there's no way they could bury them, and they're also still they are a pathogen sitting there. Their bodies, the gas in their stomach, it'll be like they're, like I said, when they, a long time ago when Nostradamus was actually doing research, and he actually helped to cure people of the Black Plague, because what he did was he took cedar oil from cedar wood and he added it to a few other things. It was the first pill, if you've ever heard of, where did pills come from? That was probably the first pill ever made. He wrapped it in rose hips. So what is known about that is that it had rose hips and that he made it from cedar oil. Cedar oil, as it turns out, is a natural antibiotic. So with people that have never had an antibiotic before, you give them a natural antibiotic, even in its weakest form, is going to make them react to it in a way that they will fight off every disease within them and live. So Nostradamus, Michel de Nostradam, he actually cured the Black Plague. Okay, so, we're looking at a man-made thing, though. So let's just go over these numbers real quick, though. I don't want to get too derailed. All right, so 100,000 in China, but let's just say 10,800. Let's go with the numbers that they were saying was true a few days ago, that doctors were saying, but now they're saying 100,000 in these videos, where the nurses are crying and they're saying they're off duty now. They've been on duty all day. They're making them work until they fall and whatever. Okay. In China, there's 41 dead. That was yesterday's numbers. I think that went up to 55, or maybe who knows how many they're going to admit to. But you can't say if they're dying there, like I said, and they haven't been treated yet. You can't say that you can't count them as dead. And they haven't been, technically, they haven't been tested, so they can't be confirmed. So who knows how many they're actually sending straight to that gas chamber. All right. And it's probably, I'm sure they have, I'm not gas chamber, I'm sorry, that crematorium, crematorium. It's going to be like Auschwitz. It's going to make Auschwitz look like Kindercare. I'm saying, though, that there will be a crematorium, and it's not that they're killing people, except for the fact that they released a virus that's killing people. So what do you want to call it? All right, so let's go further. So in the U.S., 2 confirmed cases and 63 that they are wanting to investigate and are investigating. They probably have it in hand. They probably detain these people, but at least 63, so 63 plus in the U.S., which whoever they came in contact with also, because even though they've got it in its dormant stage, or if you want to call it its interim period of 2 weeks, up to 2 weeks, this disease is still contagious, and they found that out. Okay, that's U.S. So then there's one, but there's three that are under investigation in Australia, maybe more. Now, these other numbers, I just put a 1 by them because some of them I could not look up. And let's be honest, they're not giving us true numbers anyhow, so at least you see the country. So there's 1 plus 3 being investigated in Australia. Now, I think they already confirmed those, though. There's at least 1 in Saudi Arabia, at least 1 in Pakistan, at least 1 in the United Kingdom, Scotland, okay, because they came off of Heathrow Airport, and I think there was another one in the United Kingdom. All right, 2 are confirmed in France, but who knows the real number? And oh, by the way, in UK and Scotland, it was 1 that was confirmed, but 3 that were that they tested, and they just hadn't got the test back to confirm it. But I mean, you just don't test people. You don't just say, hey, you don't look right, I'm going to test you. No, these are people who are crying for help and saying, I'm sick and I'm dying, can you help me? And they were around that person. They went to Wuhan, China. Oh, but we can't confirm it until we get the test back. They probably are going to be confirmed. Okay. And there was a person at the LAX airport that went, whatever kind of symptoms they had, they said that it was, they highly suspected that it was this. Okay. So then there was the one guy also in Seattle when you talk about the US, and then there was the one woman, and he contacted 22 people at least. There was a total of 63 in the US they're investigating and all that stuff, but watching, monitoring. That's the word they use, monitoring. They probably have them in a room somewhere. They need to treat this like Ebola. So there's the one woman who's 60 who's in Chicago, and she came in contact with, they said she didn't go to no national events or nothing big or nothing, but she came in contact with evidently 2 other people. It's my understanding, because they got 2 other people that they are watching. That's what I was told. I could be wrong about that part, but I know for sure that they are worried about a couple other people, and they're expecting more cases to be in Chicago, even though the other day they downplayed it. They're expecting more cases. So maybe it's those other 2 people she was in contact with, and they're expecting that to probably be positive because they're sicker than hell and in a bed. Who knows? All right. So going further, like I said, right here, from UK and Scotland, we're going to go to France. 2 confirmed, and who knows how many. There's 2 confirmed in France. 1 confirmed in Taiwan. 1 confirmed, and who knows how many actual have it. 1 confirmed in South Korea. Who knows how many. 1 confirmed in Thailand. And I'll just go further like that. 1 confirmed in Japan, 1 confirmed in Macau, 1 confirmed in Nepal, 1 confirmed in Vietnam, 1 confirmed in Hong Kong. And I had to put more because I had to put another tweet, because they only allow you so many. Oh, it was up above that. They only allow you so many characters per person on the tweets here. Okay. 3 confirmed in Malaysia, 1 confirmed in Singapore, 1 confirmed in Thailand. Okay, so I sent that to, Rattler, Captain Bob Dad, Red Nation Rising, the Patriots, Savage Nation, Michael Savage, Miami Herald, so they wouldn't say they didn't know about it, Pete, and Praying Medic. So, Praying Medic, I like what you do. I'm just telling this stuff. I'm trying to get this information out. And like I said, those are old numbers. And if you have more, a country that was not mentioned, please make a comment on this live. I'm gonna hit this thing so I can see the comments now. Invest in Facebook stock? No, I would invest in the Batesville Casket Company. It's a really good company. They make boxes. That's a good investment. They ran out of caskets in the United States during the Spanish flu. You want an investment? I would invest in casket making companies. Anyone who has anything to do with morgues or crematoriums, or anything that has to do with maybe a grave digger, maybe if he has a company and he has a backhoe and he needs to invest. So there you go. Stock up on meds. Yeah, I would say, I would definitely, I'm going to say this. I don't know if we have enough antibiotics in this country to give every man, woman, and child antibiotics. That is most concerning to me. So I think we need more antibiotics. And like I said, this is a bioweapon. We may not live through it anyways, because there are people who were. And look, the doctor who was in Wuhan, China, that's the one I need to show. He actually died. He was 60. I'm sure they gave him all the antibiotics because he was going to be treating more people. So their best efforts could not save a doctor in Wuhan of this disease. While he was in the hospital the whole time treating people. So as soon as he felt sick, he tested himself and he said, hey, I'm sick. I need the treatment. As soon as he started undergoing treatment, was sooner than me and you could get to the hospital or be tested. He probably tested himself on his lunch break. Seriously, this guy was right there. He was the quickest to get to any type of help. And they probably treated him better than the other patients and gave him every cocktail of antibiotics they have. So at that point, why didn't he live? It's because, number one, yeah, like that guy said, there's no cure. Number one, there's no cure, but the truth is, there's just no help for you to fight something that's designed to kill. It is a weapon of mass destruction. It's a bio warfare agent. It's not a chemical agent. It's a bio agent. So it's made to live in you until you die. And it doesn't care. It doesn't have feelings. And it's going to do its best to be able to go to the next host. Let's see here. I'm going to find this real quick, though. I wanted to find that. And look up Typhoid Mary, because like I said, I think these people that are let out, those two that lived, I think they're walking around. I think they're Typhoid Marys. This is probably designed in that way, because this is, 2020. I'm quite sure that they have the ability to make something that will not be able to be killed. And that's where it was with snakes DNA, but that's why, yeah, they got them. They busted them. They busted this couple with this. Let's see. Lancet now reports the coronavirus is contagious even when no symptoms. This is important too. It's a 2-week period of disease spread while you are still not showing symptoms. I put this up. I'm not even going to touch the Zoom. I'll just read it to you. Well, maybe you'll want to see it. Let's just do that. Okay, fine. Let's see if I can. Dr. Eric Fingal Ding. I don't know what that. That's crazy. 13. This was the 13th tweet he made of a whole list, but this was the most important one. Okay, so I put contagious with no symptoms, because that's what he was saying. That's a 2-week period of disease spread, not just a 2-week period while the virus is dormant inside you. All right, and not showing symptoms, but you're still contagious the whole time. And it gets even worse. The Lancet now reports that the coronavirus is contagious even when no symptoms, specifically crucial to isolate patients. Quarantine contacts as early as possible, because asymptomatic infection, which is an infection with no symptoms, appears plausible. Okay, so there's that. It's infectious even if they're not showing signs. See what else we'll get into. Listen, if you're just joining this, please watch this from the start, because it's got a lot of information in it. And right now you may seem bored at my voice talking to you, but trust me, you need to watch the first of the video where I was getting into it pretty deep. And then you need to watch this. This is the doctor. This is the doctor that passed away. That's him. So I'll go down here and make this readable, and then I got to get off this thing. Okay, people, listen. Liang Wudong, a surgeon who was treating patients in Wuhan, just became the first doctor to die. This was yesterday, though, okay, to die from the new coronavirus. They put this 16 hours ago. Let's see here if I can make it to where you can read this here. There we go. A reminder that while everyone else is trying to avoid it, frontline medical staff, I need to drink water here, some coffee. Frontline medical staff are risking their lives to cure it and save many others. I'll just let you see this man's picture, because I think that he deserves a little bit of respect. I'll leave that there for a minute. I'm going to have some coffee. If you want to make comments, go ahead, and I'll start checking out some of the comments. See if I can. Let me see if I can even. Oh, man, there's just going to be so many of these. I can't even. If I started scrolling now, I'll have to look at these comments after I'm done with this video, to be honest with you. I'll look at a few now if I can. I understand, people. I'm doing the best I can. Man. This dude is right. What did he put? have a bio degree and it looks nothing like normal coronavirus. Yeah, well, brother, if you have a bio degree, then we need you to be working on something to maybe create a inhibitor within the human genome to stop it from getting people in the first place. It won't be, and it won't be an antivirus. It won't be a uh, inoculation or what you would call it will be a preventative. You need to create a genome blocker that stops the corona of this thing from being able to attach itself. Maybe you could change the human DNA so it no longer takes information from outside hosts. Okay, that's where you need to be. You don't need to be on my channel. You need to be designing that like today. Let's see here. Let's see here. Just scrolling down on some of these comments here, and then I'm going to Icon put up a link to the thing here, and then appreciate that. I'm scared. We are all scared. Doctors are scared. 37 million under quarantine. Yup. The people of Walmart are in big trouble. That's pretty bad. Yeah. 63 suspected cases in the U.S. Let's see. Goal was clearly infection, 2-week incubation period. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because honestly, a virus is more deadly when it has a shorter rate before you become dead. It's not trying to kill the host. In this design, it's trying to spread. You see, if you wanted to kill someone, well, a bullet doesn't take 3 weeks to kill someone. It kills them. So let's say someone tries to come into your house, you get the revolver and they die, and then they don't have time to get to their weapon, or you get the draw on them. Either way, that's what a bullet is designed to do. This is designed to spread everywhere before it kills its host. That is not normal. That's what I was looking at, is why does it have a 2-week incubation period when even the longest thing I've ever heard of was a stomach virus? That's why I was saying we need to treat this like a stomach virus, because the longest thing I've ever heard of was a stomach virus. And usually that's like 4 days or 3 or 4 days. I mean, it's the incubation period is like, I mean, yeah, you could look at other diseases. This is not a disease. This is a bioweapon. So, I have to wake up on this one, people. We all have to wake up on this one. Let's see. Global pandemic. Yeah, of course it is. And the WHO doesn't want to do anything. Oh, that's what I was going to say too. The WHO, their answer, like I said the other day, I'm not going to be able to read these comments. I'm just not. Like I said the other day, though, the WHO, their answer is this. Their answer is, after you're done eating the Wuhan chicken, read your fortune cookie. See what'll happen to you. That's the WHO's answer. So fine, let's go with that. Here's my fortune. Okay, people? This is my fortune. Out of a fortune cookie. I'm not lying to you. This is out of a fortune cookie. It is better to light one small candle than to curse the darkness. Let that be your fortune too. Share this video. Okay? I got to get off this thing. Seriously. I've got a couple things I got to do. I'll probably go back live again tonight. It may not be this informative, but it'd be a few more links like this. But if he was in the hospital and was able to test himself on his lunch break, and he died, and they probably gave him the best care available, what makes you think you're going to live through this biohazard? That is my question. And the meek shall inherit the earth, right? Well, China opened up Pandora's box. It's not good, people. We'll try to figure this out together. Share every bit of information. If you have to put it on my page, if you have to put it on other people's page on Twitter, hashtag it with these hashtags so that when people are searching for it, they find it. These are the hashtags, okay? And I want you to learn them and spread them. And that's SARS 7.0, and I'm actually going to put up a hashtag. I'm going to call this. I'm naming this. I don't care what you call it. Call it what you want. You know what this is? This is weapons-grade coronavirus. Just like they have weapons-grade anthrax, this is weapons-grade coronavirus. I'm going to get off this thing. I hope this was helpful. Hope it was informative. I'm not trying to be well-known for being well-known. I'm not trying to be famous. I'm not that kind of Kardashian kind of person where I'm trying to, look at me or not. If I was, I'd hit a button and the camera would turn around and you'd see me. I'm trying to teach what I know before I go, which might be sooner than I plan because of this. Okay? It might be soon for everyone. And when there is no news, even to the last minute, I'll be doing this. Y'all stay safe. I'm going to get off this thing. Share my video with everybody. This needs to be globally known because it's a global pandemic. Share this on every social media platform you have. And look up the links I put below. That's it. I'm out. Y'all stay safe. And share that one about the CBC. Go on Facebook with it. Y'all stay safe. I'm out. Peace.